All Nagaru are confined like Baba Yanun. They just don't know it yet. Our Salal, race, is confined in a prison of alien religions and or culture and buried in a grave of adverse ignorance. When he's free, we all will be free. And this alone is enough to keep our people in captivity to enemy forces, allowing them to keep abusing those who come to help liberate our race. Many of our people love Pa Mudwa Salal, the devil race, and his evil wicked religions. We have no word in our ancient language for religion, it is a matter of opinion from what is true. So we do not expect all Nagaru or Afefre Kao, Africans to accept or even be receptive to nine reasoning and nine mind. They have been programmed to love other than self, kind and kin. Be it a Chaldean, Abraham and his descendants down to an Arab, Muhammad and others' religions. And what will it take? It will take time. Time we don't have for some to understand, before they will overstand. And there are others, who will neither understand, nor overstand nor do they care. Some make their living on the religious lies, so they will teach this to their followers. The crowds give up the wealth and fame of the religion of others. There are those among our race world over who are intelligent by nature and will understand, then accept and adhere to their true nature. These are the ones we are searching for the survival and future of the Nagaru and other races. No one can make another intelligent. A person must be born intelligent, and the intelligent among our race and others are the only ones who can help save self and kind. Those who are intelligent by nature will find their way to Wu-Sabat. Once those who receive it, get out and spread it without fear, go and teach it, to any and all. But in respect to liberation, no one can liberate a person. A person must liberate self by understanding and accepting, then following liberation reasoning as you read in what I have finally been able to teach. Many of our Salal race are lost or following alien religions such as those of Bible and Quran. They are blind, deaf and dumb, living by fictions and legends taught by aliens from other races about their own dead ancestors or fables made up. Mental liberation informs one that before Nagaru were called Negroes by Caucasus as Greeks, Romans and Arabs, you were known as Nubuns, not Nubians who are our children. Nagaru mixed with Arabs in Northeast Africa today who accepted the alien religions of Bible and Quran. Nubun is Nabat or Gold AU-79, atomic weight, born with the Big Bang to the Sun. As a person it became Munbatu, gold ones. It became Nabat to Napatan. The letters B and P replace each other in dialect. In time we became many names such as Ethiopians from Greeks, yet they knew it was either Nubuns and either Utopia, Meroe, Aksum or Kush. Each people who come among us gave us their own name for us, their own Zom, opinion. We are the life-giving force of light-burning Nashatat, energies, dark matter that the sun produces called prominences, eminence and sunshine. The Mudwa, devil, Caucasus never taught Nagaru people that sunshine is ether, because if they had, some of you would be able to reason out your own origin many years ago. Now in New Babylon, the West, called America, it took 400 years to make a black devil to hate self and kind. It really started long before the 400 years, from 1600 AD to 2000 AD. They keep our people ignorant on purpose, and his new game is a DNA test to find what part of Africa you come from. Again, another thing to separate us, the separation of countries in Africa were created by them, not us. Like Sudan, Egypt, Somalia, Djibouti, Kenya, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Madagascar, Chad, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Mauritania, Mali, Niger, and Senegal. They will try to say you're from one of the countries ruled by aliens and their alien religions, Mosesism, Jesusism or Mohammedism religions from outside of Africa, from Mesopotamia's Chaldee or Abraham's religions from Sumeria's deities called Anunnaki, Anakim, to confuse you and keep our race separated. You can't trust them with your DNA. They are liars by nature, don't ever forget that. Afefre Ka is Africa, we are all Africans, one bloodline before invaders came in and mixed in our blood to make us Nubians, African mixed Arabs. And Arabs are no more than Persian mixed Indians. The original Nagaru in what is called Kamam, Egypt today, was pushed southward out of our original land, down south in Sudan and then spread across Africa, by hybrids, by Greeks such as Alexander the Greek, around 332 BCE, and Greco-Roman around 332 BCE to 330 BCE. Even Dravidians, East Indians came to Kamam, Egypt, under the Greeks and the Macedonians, called Ptolemy, 305 BCE, founding the Ptolemaic so-called dynasties 323 to 30 BCE, adopting our customs, dress, even built Egyptian-type temples of our Najru, claimed to be Perar-Re-A, Pharaoh, aliens. The last so-called Ptolemaic ruler was not Greek or Roman yet African Negroid, Cleopatra VII. Queen Cleopatra VII was Negroid. They found her sisters, Arsenios, bones, then did DNA testing, and found they were both full-blooded Negaru Negroids. She had Julius Caesar and Marcus Antony around her finger, and they were homosexual lovers. Both, as most all Greeks and Romans are, even Octavian. And she did not commit suicide, she was killed by a snake bite and her son by Caesar. She also had a son by Mark Antony. You find him in the Bible as Cleopas called Jesus, which is called Justus in their New Testament book Colossians 4:11, one of the three Christs of that time. Another was Bar-Jesus, Acts 13:6, and Ben Pandira, son of Pandira, a man named Yeshua. The three Jesuses of that time. The Yeshua bar Yosef and Miriam, Jesus son of Joseph and Mary, was mixed, as all Pashasasu, the Israelites were, and their Yashamu, Ishmaelite brothers called Arabu, Arabs. Our Jesus was Negaru, theirs was not. After the Romans, Greeks, then the Byzantine rule, 330 to 642 AD, the Emperor Theodosius, 391 AD, with their Christians, denominations of many kinds, with the Council of Chalcedon in 451 AD. Next, Islamism came in from all directions. By 642 AD, Islamism had invaded Egypt, killing, raping, destroying under their caliphate, same word as Cleopas only in Arabic, from Hebrew Khalaf, Hebrew Strong's 2498 to 2501. Each copying from each other from the original, Egypt. Syrians, Turks, Persians, French, British, Arabians and Baghdadis all came in, mixed with those who did not move south, and now you have these false Muslims, Markazasu, Christians, and Kamamu, Egyptians. Look at them, see European not African. This happens all over North Africa. Aliens took over our holy lands, they will never teach the truth. Remember, when referring to Ethiopians as they called Mukamamu, blacks, we are not referring to only woolly-haired people as in Sudan, Yemen and others. Much mixing with aliens changed their hair texture from nappy. Yet, we are all one family, not race. We are all Kardu Shalal Re'eh, children of the sun. 9 Ether sun produced the black race. The new buns, our blackness that the Caucasus try to get by basking in the sun, is temporary. They now spray our color on. Use all kinds of skin toning to look like us. Yet, the sun will kill them, and many of our people because of mixing with them. Our blackness and woolly hair is a blessing. We have wabar, hair, all others have farar, fur, as other animals, beasts, yet we'll call it hair except on animals. Then, it's fur. All you have to do is look and see they all have fur, not nappy, woolly, kinky hair as Negaru and many who mixed with Negroids. Yet, note why and how. You notice that newborn babies of most all races are born with fur or no hair growth because their genes are at its weakest time. As they grow, they become stronger and their fur begins to curl from the digit 6 to the digit 9, from straight farar fur to nappy wabar hair. So the stronger the genes, the tighter the curl of the growth on the head because of mixing. Most people have thin growth on their bodies. Real strong gene people grow nappy hair on their bodies. Originally Negaru did not have any growths on their body. Just as you noticed real strong gene new buns of Africa don't grow facial hair or body hair. After mixing there was the need for antennae to attract more electricity to the body. Yet, because of our black skin we did not originally need to attract the sun's rays, it grew out of us, our central solar plexus, the blacks or Negroids being the sun's original offspring as Atun Ray, a birther of others makes the sun feminine. The sun is actually female, a giver of life. She empowered Negaru with the same powers that she has, the power to be black and produce black offspring. In other words, your skin is black because like all existence before any form of light or fire, you have blackness, dark material, dark energy, then the black hole, onto the Big Bang, one of many. Why in their Bible they say in Genesis chapter 1 verse 3, their God, Elohim God's first said, let there be light, the Big Bang out of darkness. So what state was he in first? Darkness. So dark is not evil at all. Evil came with light, chaos. Where did their Lord, Yahweh, Jah dwell? 1 Kings 8:12 and 2 Chronicles 6:1. So darkness, dark, blackness, black is not evil or wicked, another adverse deception by white, light people. So, all that dark is evil in the Bible and Quran is adverse forces at work on our minds, 6 minds working to reverse 9 minds. The sun we Negaru have in our reproductive system is a solar system. Our central sun in our solar plexus and in your marrow of your bones, is what is called sun heat genes. Supreme Ozdam, in Arabic, Adhim. They say supreme, when you look it up, you see its root, bone, where warm blood is born or created. These sun heat genes in us become part of the blood, and they emanate outward to the skin, and your sun heat genes burn the skin black, even boil if you're cut, such as keloid that only Negaru get, an outgrowth, as Negroids heal their skin, or as in ancient times able to regrow limbs and even shape-shift to grow wings in order to fly, as you see on ancient Kamamu, Egyptians' records. There is much more to it. Why our Salal race used to cut into the skin, tribal scars, and so much that has been forgotten, with the spell of hypnotic amnesia cast upon our race 6,000 years ago by Lawi Tananu, Leviathan, Kingu. Sun heat genes burn the skin black from green as we rust, in color from inside out transformed from green to brown. The more sun heat genes one has, the blacker that person will be. The blacker the person, or being black, is being superior or Pa Nawap Mukwanu, the supreme beings. Now, the sun is female and produces a daughter earth and sun, as twins, like in ancient Kamam, Egypt, Nuttit, Nut, and Gabab, Geb, or Nuttit, nut-breathed, air, Greek air, invisible mixture of gases surrounding the earth, as sky. And Geb, earth or solid. So, the male is grown out of the female as this planet was grown out of the sun. It's all etheric. The sun gives off ether and they play with that word such as aster, Greek for star. Star, Old English for stiara, any luminous celestial object, astral. You see it used as Inanna, also called Ishtar, or Esther, Astarte, Astrea, daughter of Nannar and Ningal, Nannar son of Enlil and Ninlil, and Lil was the son of Anu. These are the Anunnaki from Nibru. They all lead back to ether. As used in Greek an, to burn, you see sun heat gene. So mother deities give off heat in her womb. Ether in the form of what is called prominences, why they can see a child in the womb, it glows as it grows. The sun has antennae called granulation, and negroid outgrowth of 9 ether hair in the shape of the digit 9. Woolly hair looks like that granulation or, to form into a grain, granules. So woolly hair may correctly be called granulated hair, curled hair, kinky hair, nappy hair, 9 ether hair. If you put thin, flank fur, wrongly called straight hair, closer and closer to a fire, that strand of fur will granulate, that is ball up because of the potency of the heat. Negaru carry his and her son within, and appeared on planet Earth at a time when no other race could survive in the Taha, Earth's atmosphere, because just after creation, this atmosphere was too dense and much too potent for the weakness of Mamanu, humanoids, or mankind. You see, mankind is all people with straight farar fur, and animals are all creatures with straight fur. Yes, they are related by natures. Negaru became identified with mankind down through evolution. Man, man's kind, man's kin, kindred, a kind of man. Other races can't live on Earth as us. Even today, most people who are aliens from outside of Africa can't live there. Nature will kill them, the sun or the waters. You have to adjust to the environment or die. It is the sun heat genes in those who had to live in the Earth's original atmospheres who had to be much stronger than those of man's kind who came much later. In other words, the sun heat genes in the Africans were so dense and potent in your bone marrow and reproductive system, which is why you have more children or offspring than others of mankind. It curled your outgrowth called hair to 9s. Kinky as fire does to a straight thin strand of fur. So in fact, nappy-haired, black-skinned Africans are superior to straight fur pale-skinned Yarapu, just as the suns, stars or sons of suns, are superior to other universal bodies. This assures the Africans that we are the original or first on the planet, thereby the original personification of the suns. Sunlight persons in ancient times, the Africans, called Tarites and Bisites, the original little people and worshipped as the personification of the original creators. Tarites and Bisites are from the sun and you are from them. And this means you bigger newbuns are the sun too. You are evolutionary Tarites and Bisites. And mother sun and stars birth sister earth who birthed sons, S-O-N, and gave birth to your Salafu, ancestors. The Africans from the source of the Nile rivers were impregnated by 9 ether rays from the Kalimakwamat, omniverses. The Katharmakwamat, multiverses, the eggs of earth in the source of the Nile waters impregnated by 9 mind, 9 power. 9 mind has the highest potential potency for inner vision. Without vision the people perish. Inner vision, through imagination, imagination, has the ability to coalesce the ideas of the mind into the physical world. According to the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, imagination is defined as the act or power of forming a mental image of something not present to the senses or never before wholly perceived in reality. Creative ability. So as you can see, imagination is the ability to create an idea or mental picture in your mind. Scientific experiments have shown that if we take a person and hook their brains up to certain PET scans and computer technology and ask them to look at a certain object, these scientists would watch certain areas of the brain light up, and then they ask the same people to close their eyes, and now imagine that same object, and when they imagine that same object, it produced the same areas of the brain to light up as if they were actually visually looking at the object. So this caused scientists to back up and ask this question: so who really sees then? Does the brain see, or do the eyes see, and what is reality? Is reality what we are seeing with our brain, or is reality what we seeing with our eyes? The truth is the brain does not know the difference between what it sees in its immediate environment and what it remembers, because the same specific neural nets are being fired. So then this makes you ask the question, what is reality? Pause and think. The mind has many great powers. One of its powers is the ability to produce images. Now, before we go any further into speaking about the powerful gift of imagination and the creative ability of the mind to produce mental images called visualization, we must stop and take time to examine just how does the brain create these mental images that your mind sees. The human brain is like a holographic computer, and this is true when examining the functions of the brain and the way brain reacts to outer stimuli via senses, and the way the brain stores information. Just like a computer, our brains have a certain amount of memory or bytes that can be used as impulses from the senses that are beamed to the brain, connecting, converging and interfering as they overlap within your brain cells. Electromagnetic energy serves as the holographic brain's laser-like light. Your eyes serve as the object beam. Your remaining senses and emotions serve as the brain's reference beams. Now the science world has discovered the technology where they can put tiny microchips into the brain and even download programs right into the brain, touch screens, as well as mind control of computers. Now let's take a look at the word hologram. You see hollow or whole, meaning whole entire, and gram, meaning something written, thus hologram is a whole or entire message. Holograms are produced by illuminating the scene with light from a device called a laser, which works off the principle of vaporizing the hardest and most heat-resistant materials through multiplied stimulation of atoms. The laser is a number of several devices that turn striking electromagnetic radiation of mixed frequencies of highly amplified and coherent visible radiation. The laser is also called optical laser. The output of a laser is in the visible region of the electromagnetic spectrum. Laser provides the long sought-after model of how visual and sensory information is received, stored and recalled by the brain. Our ancient Tamaraean, Egyptian, ancestors knew all this about the brain, and being we are the children of our ancient Tamaraean ancestors, it is due time we know and begin to reawakening the dormant powers of our mind. There is a modern-day physicist by the name of Michio Kaku who has video documentary proving that the Toyota company has now developed the technology of what they call Toyota brain-controlled wheelchair. Scientists attach types of electrodes to the brain, and through thought wave patterns a person who is paraplegic, paralyzed, can operate and move the wheelchair just by mere thought. Also, Michio Kaku says, give us 5 years and we will be reading your thoughts. And today, scientists do have the technology to place a small microchip in the brain. The reason this information is being brought to the surface of your conscious mind is to prove to you, people are interfacing technology with natural abilities. With the powers of the mind and the proper mental exercises, disciplines, dietary laws, relaxation of the body, etc. What seems as science fiction and only happens on the big screen movies are really inner latent abilities that are ready to come to surface in this day and time.